when every one of us enters our full dimensions, the only one we resemble is God. If you resemble anything other than God, it means there is a corruption in the protocol of your transformation. You were not created to look like your biological father. You may look like him because of biological process, but you were created to look like God. Every one of us are the direct offsprings of God. But you see, as you journey through life, there are distractions, both legitimate and illegitimate. The Bible calls something the cares of this world. House rent can be a distraction. School fees can be a distraction. Your friends can be a distraction. No matter how you apply wisdom, there are certain distractions that you can't do without. Sin can be a distraction. You may not be sinning, but you are in a sinful world. So you are not only under the power of sin, you are in the presence of sin. In salvation, the power of sin is broken, but the presence of sin cannot be broken until at rapture. So while you are in a sinful world, there will be distraction, and sometimes these things rub off on you. You are driving, you turn left, turn right, all you hear and see is corruption. If a time does not come when you are reset, those weights will suppress your soul, and then you discover you can't pray. You discover inspiration start being tampered with. You that wake up in the morning and you just know what to do. Now you need to pray for 3 hours before you know something is happening to signal. Antenna is becoming weak. You that sits on your table in the office, immediately you know what to do. When you look at people, you can tell who can do well. You can tell who is evil. Something now happens to your discernment. It's when you are duped that you discover the person was bad. Meanwhile, in your elements, when you see a dupe, you will know. When you see a fraudster, you know, because you can read people. What happened that a fraudster came and duped you before you realize? It means discernment is being affected. So these are weights, distraction, weight. You that kept yourself as a single lady, you are 33. It's at 33 somebody came to deceive you, and you are wondering what happened. Discernment. And these things are caused by the weight of sin and by the weight of distraction. When God resets you, you discover that those weights are removed. And when those weights are removed, your brightest colors manifest. This is why you need a reset. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 1. It says, let us throw away everything that hinders us, and it calls them sins and entanglements, and run the race with patience. Let us throw away everything that hinders us, sin and distraction, and run the race with patience. And run the race with patience. So if a man is not reset, at some point distraction can either delay his journey or can cause him to deviate. So when you are reset, weights are taken off your life. In this meeting, you will find out that many distractions of destiny will be broken. There are some young men, they wasted their youth on video game. It's not a sin. But when they should be studying, they are playing PS. And they play PS from the age of 19 to the age of 35. It's when they get married, they can't pay school fees. That's when they are now going to find out, how does business work? Oga, you are supposed to know how business work at 21. Why are you learning it at 35? PS ate his destiny. So when we talk weight, there are weights indeed. When God resets you, you discover those appetites are mortified. So when you see people wasting their lives, you don't desire it. They say, let's go clubbing. You say, no, I don't feel like. It's a waste. Meanwhile, there are people that on Friday from 2 p.m. their body is itching them, because from 8 the club has opened, and so they can't think on Friday. Club is a weight. There are some people that when it's 4 p.m. their throat is dry. Why? They must drink 3 bottles of Star Lager beer. If they don't take Star, they can't rest. So the whole of Friday they are waiting for 4 p.m. and when it's 4 they come alive. And when they are done taking alcohol, they now damage their own families, and Satan is just pumping it. Their weights, their sins. The Bible said they beset us. This is why you need reset. Number 2, why do you need reset? You need reset in able to overcome spiritual stagnation. There are certain people that have been at one spot for the past 10 years. All they need is one inspiration, but they can't get it. If they were able to catch that one inspiration, their life would have shifted. And so they are there, and they are laboring with all their might. You know, when you are stagnated, it's like standing in mud. If you don't struggle, you remain. If you struggle, you sink. Meanwhile, you cannot not just remain. You have to struggle. So the more you struggle, the more you sink. That's the mystery of stagnation. When God resets you, he brings help to lift you from stagnation. He pulls you out. So it is no longer by your own strength, it's by a strength beyond you. So in the company of the righteous, such possibilities exist, but it takes a reset for it to happen. This is why those who understand it, they cry for it. In Psalm 85 verse 6, it said, will you not revive us again, that your people may rejoice in you? Will you not revive us again? We have been here for too long. We have struggled. The more we struggle, the more we go back. The more we struggle, the more we sink. Will you not revive us again? We have been stagnated. We've done all we know. There's a refreshing we require. There's a light we require. There's a push we require. That is what God comes to do when he resets a man's life. He shifts him by his power, and that man discovers that he has moved not by his own strength, but by an external force. Because sometimes when God resets, he doesn't reset you, he resets your environment.